There we go. And welcome to Tuesday night. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, once again, this is Thank God It's Tuesday. Rhett, the fill-in out, the main man, Tim Strachan back in, feeling on top of the world. Not
Feeling
a
better.
ton of activity, organized or otherwise, to speak about. However, I thought we have a little bit of stuff to go through tonight, some conversations that we can work our way through, hopefully in a summary Memorial Day manner. Happy Memorial Day to all you guys out there, all your families, and thank you so much for the sacrifices that your families have made. What an awesome celebration we had this weekend. 3-day weekends, by the way, are the greatest, especially, I mean, you're just kind of on the end of school. So even though we're not in school, there's still a little, I mean, parents of kids
Nostalgia.
in school, but what parents of kids in school, you're still on the clock. You know what I mean? You're just kind of getting closer. As kids start to check out, I'm also seeing parents kind of be like, listen, I just got to get them there, for like one more week. They don't even care what's going on anymore. They're just like, we just want this over. I don't know. It was perfect weather, raining or otherwise. The Caps have a new coach, AGH. You're absolutely right. And so, Greg, that was E.O. Anderson's fantasy soundtrack, whatever a fantasy video game in full volume. So we're working on it. We're working on understanding the volume buttons. It's all me. They already know how to do it. They're just not telling me how to do it. They refuse, and I actually respect that.
I like to watch them struggle.
You went to the classes, and I didn't.
I'm still reeling that because of me, we didn't hang out over this weekend, and I'm feeling a tad bit of shame.
Well, I was going to get to that, but I'm still surprised we actually are on the air ever, any week.
It's true.
Very true.
It's true.
Because I don't touch a cord or a button or anything. You don't want me to. But
I know, but you gaze longingly at them, and I think they become intimidated eventually. And
I don't know.
The right one seems to get...
The Rainbow Bright board now is throwing me way off, but...
A lemonade.
The Rainbow Bright board? You haven't seen? You've seen this. You've been here before.
He meant light bright. He meant light bright.
It's just catching my eye. It's mesmerizing.
Well, that's part of what I need. I needed something to distract you just a little bit more.
But I did have a bittersweet Memorial Day weekend. It started off with the Penn State lacrosse game. My nephew JB Strachan is on the team. We were very excited for them to be in the position they were. For it to end, I'm still waiting for an adult to say we need to resume that game. It made absolutely no sense. He was in the crease. It was overtime. You can't end the game. Would an NCAA basketball game end with somebody stepping on the three-point line and winning the game with a three-pointer when it really didn't count? That would never happen.
I don't know.
It would never happen.
Lacrosse rules are so different.
It doesn't matter.
Any
rules
other
are
sport.
rules when it comes down to
the horn's the horn, though.
The game.
Yeah, I don't know.
This wasn't about time. It was an overtime.
It was overtime.
It was the next goal scores. And he stepped in the crease and he threw it in. And I was pissed. And then I found out the kid that stepped on the crease went to DeMatha, Ledman. But that didn't matter. Some adult needed to step up.
Habitual line steppers.
The game
Those DeMatha boys.
Not over. That's how it started. And then Ricka decides to break tradition and not have a freaking holiday term party at his house. Yeah. What the hell's going on?
Fair.
I made the best of it. I'm getting over it. But
you did make
it was bittersweet.
Turned some lemons into some.
It started rough. It ended disappointing, but I still made the best of it.
And we played in the 2-day baseball out your ass tournament 40 miles from here, and it was baseball out your ass all weekend.
And poor decisions.
And poor decisions. POUR. Shout out Alex, most friendly bartender on the East Coast this past holiday weekend. Poor decisions was tremendous. Little roadside stop, baby.
I had to get that out.
I know. I feel you.
In many ways, it's a therapy session every week. And I'm not used to being taller than you.
I know.
I mean, you're like 7 feet tall, and I remember like the first time we would make setups, we were just had like a little rickety old, like a dinner tray type situation, and Kevin and I were like huddled around, and T's like up here, and I was like, seriously, like.
Paybacks are a bitch.
We've got to figure this one out.
Fuck you guys. Man.
We will figure it out.
I'm just sitting here chuckling.
There's a button. By the way, I could lower this table.
I'm slouchy.
I could lower this table with a button push right here.
But then you have to adjust the old M cam. And
I don't know how to work any buttons. Not volume, not music. Shout out to the A team, J Dubs, manner of speaking. They're kind of beating us to the punch here. Now we've all been lighting candles for Andrew Norwell over the last few weeks. Not quite sure when it was going to happen. Apparently, ESPN got the big scoop. I'm like, it's like, is that all you guys can report about us? That we plan to cut Andrew Norwell?
I wanted to send this text to T. They
plan
are
to.
Like a spring pig in winter. They are fattening frogs for snakes right now. I'm sorry, I just confused two analogies, but
I can't believe this is actually news.
They have to get him healthy to be led to the spring slaughterhouse. You can't just slaughter an injured pig because they've got to get this hog safe, sound, and ability ready for the open market. You can't cut a man who's injured. So this is step one in the phase to rehabilitate.
You know what? He's injured for the rest of his life.
I know.
I mean, that's why he's not a good football player. So that's really bad news.
I know. It's coming now. We're fattening a frog for a snake right now. That's it.
Everybody was worried and thought that there was a chance that he would be on our team next year. Don't worry. It's not happening. I mean, I don't know. I don't really necessarily want to talk a lot of OTAs, but I did want to talk. There's two team-related topics that I thought would be fun, and I'll let you guys decide which one to go first. We can talk some schedule, because we haven't talked schedule at all. We've been putting it off. Everyone obviously just like blows their schedule load within like 48 hours of the schedule coming out. It's a metaphor. It's an industry term.
I get it.
Basement industry term. And we're gonna wait. We go on a little bit. It's like tantric basement podcasting.
Now you're getting weird.
Just lay it out. No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I only said that because the A team told me to say that in NES Tecmo.
Stop encouraging him.
So I don't know anything.
I got a feeling that.
Wait till we're so far removed from the sweatiest basement in Kensington, which I feel like we do have to get back to at some point.
That was really weird.
That was not weird.
You said it every night.
Or
really weird.
Who has to have the best camp? Everyone gets to pick one person, just a person, one person. Who has to have the best camp? Kevin, are we going? Who has to have the best camp? Or are we going to talk schedule?
We're going to do both.
Oh, what do you want to do first?
Let's do who has the best camp. Let's just get it out. Let's just get it out and open.
Whoa!
God bless you.
I felt that. I just got over being sick. What the fuck?
Thank you.
I
appreciate that.
My seat has never been more comfortable than it was the last 30 seconds.
I'm filing a complaint with OSHA tomorrow.
I just saved Kevin's life by sneezing on Benjamin. And
great.
Possibly a little bit on you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And you all just witnessed a battery.
A basement outbreak in the
Whenever
making.
T goes to that high-pitched voice, I know someone's about to get either backhanded or threatened.
All right, so Kevin, since you picked the topic, you get to pick first. Now, don't go T style and be like, "Well, I could say."
I got one. I'm only going to say one. I have one.
Who do you got?
I believe in this one.
All right. Who? This person has to have the best camp. Why?
I think it is our newest acquisition, our right tackle, Andrew Wiley, has got to have the most impressive camp for a ton of reasons. First of all, our O-line stunk last year, and this is our most expensive acquisition. So on paper, right away, get your ass in here and go to work because we need you, obviously. Point two, the main point is this guy's coming from a Bieniemy offense. So you're looking to this guy not to tell you everything, blah, blah, but to actually get out there. And I believe in reps. We all have agreed with this. Reps. Get it out there. Let's get it through. Let's talk to the guy. And he has to have a good camp because if he's getting his ass thumped by Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, and the guys out wide, Montez and Chase, and then he's trying to give advice, that advice isn't taken all that well. You know what I'm saying? So get out there, show what you got, flash that Super Bowl ring, show up at a camp that's desperate for this leadership at that position. Translate Eric Bieniemy's language on the field to these guys. Be a leader. Show us how to get it done in the offensive line position in their new system under a new offensive line coach, Travell Wharton, coming in to do all this. I think it's the biggest deal ever because, yes, he's a wealth of knowledge. Yes, he's a high-priced free agent. He's going to have to be the guy that performs, or else why is someone going to want to respect that guy early on in camp and be like, hey, I got a couple questions. When you got off of that block and got up onto this, well, what did you see? Why did you do it? And what can I do to get there a step quicker? Got to have a big camp, Andrew Wiley.
So like that. It just like touches on like a really cool and true and maybe sometimes hurtful or to teams fact of professional sports. You can be a good player, you can know your shit, you can have done it, but when you're in the locker room, especially the pro level, probably in teams we played on, like no one cares what you have to say unless you're doing it on the field. Like, I mean, to a certain point. I mean, they're going to respect you to a point, but you only get the true leadership respect from guys if you go out there and you perform. And so if he has a great camp and he looks good and he's doing everything right, that lends itself to him being allowed by the players to be that guy.
I think it's of the utmost importance that he remains healthy as well to be able to be out there to compete against our best unit, the defensive line. So I think the pressure's on Andrew Wiley to show up ready to rock and roll from second one.
Yep. I think it's a great one. T, I'll let you go second.
No, I think that's a great pick. It's a smart pick. I'm going to take one many might seem as a cop-out, but to me, it's the obvious one. Sam Howell.
Yeah.
Had to be said.
He doesn't need to come out and be Patrick Mahomes. That's not what I'm saying. He doesn't need to, come out and be this incredible future Hall of Famer. He needs to have this time to learn this offense, to be the commander, to be the most important position on the field. And he doesn't need to be the superstar, but he needs to be someone who is in command of it and understands it and can put the ball in the hands of the people who can make the plays. He doesn't need to make himself. He'll make them. We know that he can make those plays. Mm-hmm. And when the lights come on, I think he's got a swagger about him. But the preparation right now is so important at the most important position on the team.
Yep, absolutely. The $1 million man.
The $1 million.
It's not even close to even $1 million right now. So
the one.
He's getting one this year.
Is he getting one?
Yeah, he's getting one.
Okay.
He's getting one.
And I think before it's all said, like there's the pots of money that players can dip into. As long as he doesn't, die playing football this year, he's going to collect more money because he's got long time and snaps. The other thing about
that's that Eastern Motors cash, that always adds.
Guys, I'm gonna go over here.
What is that? What's the pizza place they're all doing now?
Oh God,
it's terrible. It's terrible.
It's
food.
right in Bethesda, right around the corner from Caddy's. What the heck is it? They just got Jan Dotson on it. Yeah.
So bad. The commercials are
terrible.
By the
way, it's the grossest pizza.
It's bad. Yes. It is Paisano. It's not good.
Sorry, Paisanos.
I'm sorry.
But they got great commercials.
We will change our tune for a small to medium-sized sponsorship. Paisanos.
Are you okay?
I had a little bit of whiskey down the wrong tube.
Is that what's going on here?
Yeah.
We're not going to hide Sam Howell in the preseason. I know I've heard some folks. I've had conversations as recently as today with a certain New Jersey bound. Well, Ron Rivera has successfully done that in his career.
He did it with McLaurin.
He's brought guys through. I mean, you can't do it with your guy you're counting on to be your starting quarterback on day one. And he's already played and beat Dallas in his rookie year. So there's no way we're hiding. There's no way we're hiding Sam Howell in the preseason, and he's got to do well. He's got to look good. I don't know. Even if it's like limiting, I don't necessarily think you have to Bill Parcells it and make him go 3 quarters a game in the preseason either.
No. It's about now. It's about knowing how to call a play.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's not even an issue when the bullets are flying. It's learning how to do the proper steps. It's learning the actual fundamentals of the game. That's what having a great camp is. A great camp isn't just coming out and saying, wow, this guy's going to be amazing. It's this guy has full and complete control of his craft.
Yep. Sam Howell has to have a great camp. He's got to have momentum going into the year. We need him. You kind of need your starting quarterback, as it turns out, no matter how much you're paying him. So that was the obvious one. I didn't have. Andrew Wiley is a great pick. There's other obvious ones. So I'll take one that's. I don't know. I'll take one that's not maybe as obvious, but it's not necessarily. I mean,
maybe a Ludens or a Hall's mentholyptus.
How about Brian Robinson doesn't get shot this preseason? How about he gets an awesome camp in under his belt? He gets some touches. He also gets.
He doesn't get shot.
Yeah, he doesn't get shot.
That would be important.
Our birds' heads don't fall off. Like all this stuff happens in the preseason. Like let's give Brian Robinson. To me, he has a great camp. If a running back has a good camp, I think that's a big deal. He's young. It's a brand new offense, but it's one that's going to rely heavily on him, and I think he knows that, and I hope he's ready for that. And I think that's for him having a camp similar to Andrew Wiley. For our offense to work, Brian Robinson has to know a lot. He has to smarten up on this new stuff. And so if he has a great camp, I think that will bode well for our offense on day one. And I like that none of us went Forbes. I like that none of us went Chase Young. I like that none of us
None of us went defense.
I had
Quan
Jartavius Martin. I had him on my defense. So those are my three right there. The three guys those are my three. I stopped right after that. I was like, well, I'm getting one of them, and Jartavius Martin right behind you, like right where you could, like,
right where I couldn't see it. It's totally hidden. Totally hidden.
So that's a big deal.
How about Jamin though? Jamin. I mean,
I just like the way Jamin was playing last year. And yes, of course. His cohort, the only other linebacker we've heard of, that's the dude that's coming in to play a little middle linebacker that we might.
That we might, yeah.
He has to have a great camp too.
He has to have a great camp as well. And coach wise, I think Del Rio has to have a great camp. I think Trayvell. God, I was thinking
Trayvell. Travelle.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's been in a holding pattern for like 2 months, waiting for all this shit to resolve itself. He was the last coach that didn't get the sign off on thingy. He was the assistant, but he wasn't. He's been here with Rivera, and now Bieniemy coming in implementing a system. He's going to be of the utmost importance. So yes, that'll be a big deal too. Yeah.
If you see or hear anything you like, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, give it a click. It's free. We appreciate that. It helps the cause, as they say. I know that was like the best conversation about preseason that we've ever had with Kevin, where he hasn't like gotten mad about the fact that we're talking about preseason. But
no. I like the talking about just the camp and like the games are torment.
Games are terrible
because I get so excited, and it's always like, why was I so excited all week?
Yeah,
farts.
Yeah.
I think you also underestimate our excitement, or maybe overestimate our excitement. We love it, but I mean, we love it because it's just football.
No, but I also know that when there's over 100,
see the guys that aren't the first team getting shots and stuff like that.
When there's 170 people in like full gear, I don't. At that point, I don't even know how to quantify any of it.
I will disagree a little bit with your discussion about Chase Young not being at voluntary. I don't think it's a big deal he's not there.
Oh yeah, you were here.
I do think it's a bigger deal if he were though.
Oh yeah,
I do.
He just found out some serious shit. He's gonna take a deep breath, gather his shit, and figure this out.
Look, it's a business at the end of the day, and yes, you don't want to go screw yourself up on a voluntary thing.
No, you don't.
But I think if he does show up, I think it would have been a much more positive story for as a whole,
because it wouldn't have been a negative story.
Well, I guess, but I mean, I'm not down on the fact he's not a voluntary, but
indifferent.
I do disagree that if he were there, it would be a good thing for him, for the team, and all that. Not knowing that, all injuries and that business stuff aside, I mean, it would be a positive thing, but it's overblown no matter what. Every year,
so. I came away. I spent an afternoon cutting the grass. And Johnny Cash style, I come away with a different point of view than I didn't say last time.
You did a bunch of drugs and cut your backyard?
Well, I cut my backyard. I am done with this whole voluntary and involuntary BS, like labeling. Like, you pay these guys millions and millions of dollars. Everyone's making a crap ton of money. They're professional athletes. Just say when they're supposed to be there. And when they're not supposed to be there, don't say anything. Like, there's guys who are at the facilities year round, getting treatments, running routes.
Talk to the Players Association.
Yeah, but if you don't,
I know. But again, just to define it, like if it's voluntary, it's nothing.
Do their
the
job,
language
that's never terrible. It's what they do.
So the devil's in the details of the language. And,
I hate it,
and it burns all of us because of it.
Yes.
And it burns.
It burns. Oh, you were picking right up on it.
You got it.
So it's an unnecessary, and also you probably have agents that are like
the same reason why we're here right now. It does matter at the end of the day because we are sports freaks.
We can have a take on it, but
we're gonna pay attention to every little thing that happens, or else we wouldn't be doing this.
Just tell them when they're supposed to be there.
You're right. We all have to.
When they're not supposed to be there, don't tell me anything about it at all.
Yeah.
Because
lie to me.
Just lie to me. Exactly.
Tell me he was there. Then I don't have to hear any shit all Memorial Day weekend.
Are we hearing about like the fifth string, right guard who's just got his bench record yesterday? Like, no, of course not. He's been there all year long.
Chris Paul was there.
He was there.
Yeah, Chris Paul was there. I saw that. So
Logan Thomas is a favorite on the board for someone who has to have a big camp. I don't not love that.
Because if he does, how great would that be? Because we signed him for a reason, and you know what? He's just been injured. So if he can stay healthy, That guy sees defense as like an NFL quarterback. If we don't think that would be helpful to a freaking second-year guy with one start under his belt, that guy knows where he is supposed to be. In fact, he's going to be in the huddle and talking with him. This is going to be a guy who's going to be an absolute mentor of some type. So if he can come back healthy, because we all know he was not healthy last year. I think we were all in agreement. We didn't think his skill level fell off. We thought he came back and tried to help this team out by playing a bit nicked up and giving what he had. I think we might see a different side of this guy, and that's why he's still around. And his value to this team, to this young new offense, is humongous.
It's priceless.
We know what Bieniemy does with tight ends, and we're not saying he's going to be Travis Kelce, but we're not saying he's not going to be used in a similar fashion in some respects.
And Sam Howell can hit at tight end. Sam Howell's Sam Howell's natural ability is on an elevated level. I mean, he's Taylor Heineke plus, right? I mean, Carson Wentz, obviously, when he was perfectly healthy, he was hitting that tight end as well. Sam Howell's ability as a quarterback, his natural God-given quarterbacking ability is there. I mean, he in that offense, if Logan Thomas is healthy, he's going to be able to get the ball to Logan Thomas in a way that Taylor Heineke flat out just couldn't. There was a ceiling on that, and Sam Howell's ceiling is higher. So I mean, we need the and Rodgers getting hurt.
I know.
That's
he's done for the year. Now,
that's the worst news, in my opinion, that's come out in a while.
But
this team.
A healthy Cole Turner would make that news
be
easier to palate. And
I loved what he was doing. Again, it was the same former quarterback, has a certain mentality, sees things differently, can be an asset at that position, and was showing that he could be.
Early on last year showed that he could when he got thrown into the mix in like week 2 or 3, 1, I think. But yeah, that stinks. That listen, we got Hodges back there, Bates and Cole Turner with Logan. That's a pretty cool group.
Yeah.
Healthy. We haven't seen what Cole Turner can do, and we really haven't seen what Logan Thomas can do in 2 years. So that's interesting.
Well, the good news for everybody, including us and Logan Thomas, is, hey, he wasn't fully healthy last year, and he looked it. So we're gonna find out real fast if he was able to get it back. And we need guys who can crack some heads, some skulls. That Cole Turner and John Bates, their physicality. That's kind of, Rodgers wasn't that kind of tight end.
Well, Bates has the physicality. I think Cole Turner's more the pass catcher now, and I think they're making him into the guy that's going to be a little more physical, and that's going to be interesting. That guy led college football on touchdown catches, and they said everyone knew they were going to him in the red zone, and he got it done anyways.
Yep.
So this is a guy who's running routes and catching the ball just fine. I think his challenge is going to be the physical side of things moving into this year after not getting a full first year, but John Bates certainly brings the physicality, and he's going to be able to catch a few balls himself. So Mr. Hodges is about 6'8", 240, so that's a big-ass target coming in at the number 4 spot. I think that's a group to keep a great eye on, and hopefully the Bieniemy offense turns that tight end room into a more exciting one.
I'm optimistic that so right now being fully healthy at all the positions that we talked about, that's huge. And every day you're just hoping we don't get the Rodgers news about someone else.
I'm with you about that, Kev, about preseason is the injuries. It can be devastating.
I just root for no injuries. You root for no injuries. Oh, I'm like, just don't get hurt. Just don't get hurt. And when a guy goes down, you're like, please don't be so-and-so. And I hate rooting against different guys' numbers. But listen, Phil Mathis will tell you how frustrating it is to get you see what your dream is for 1 second and then get put on the shelf for 18 months. So I think that's another guy that, hey, it'd be fun to watch him spell our big horses. And, because we got no compensatory this year. There's no compensatory.
No compensatory.
It's okay. It's all right. We don't need to talk about it.
But
listen, we lost.
We're not making up for anything.
Cole Holcomb and our favorite quarterback in a while, and we didn't get compensatorized for that.
Well, you know what? If Carson gets signed by the Raiders, for example, we might be looking at a late 7th rounder.
A late 7th rounder? No, we might be looking at like a.
Maybe
I'm not going to. I don't even want to go into what we would get
a
for
Datsun pickup truck
it's like
with 157,000 miles.
No, I think it's like 100 different disciples from the Church of Latter-day Saints arriving in the neighborhood. I have to get another one of those no soliciting things because this was going to get worn the hell out.
All right,
sorry,
guys.
we live right by the Mormon temple. It's gigantic. Nice people. They knock on the door all the time.
Speaking of, we haven't said hello to our 4th co-host today yet, Kevin, on the screen there for you.
She's back.
She's back. Choked up.
Sports Illustrated season, everybody. It's bathing suit season. We've all been waxing. Someone's flossing.
Did you wash your ass?
Am I right? Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. It's a Martha night. It's definitely a Martha night.
Sir, I'm worried about you. You got a frog in your throat.
I got a frog in my throat. I'm fighting it. I'm fighting through it. How about this? All right, let's go with this. All right, here we go. Let's look at it. There we go. All right, the Commanders 2022 schedule.
I like having that up there.
Yeah, now you can have something.
Yeah, now I don't have to look at my phone.
It's always better when you don't look at your phone. Plus, I'm guarding us. No one can see. No one knows anything that's going on behind here. Kevin, hands above the table, for God's sake.
It was Martha.
Martha will get it done. All right, so I feel like we've led off with Jacksonville about 10,000 times in the last 20 years. It just feels like it's Jacksonville in week 1 or week 2 for that matter, every single time. In fact, I'll say this. The first glance at the schedule, I'm not looking for wins and losses right away. I'm not even looking for where we're going to be. I'm seeing games. Oh. Wait, put up the wrong file. You didn't see that, did you?
Well, no, but when you said Jacksonville, I thought we were taking a trip.
I thought I was going to get you guys. I wanted
to do like graphics.
Yeah, no, how long were you going to let me go? I was waiting for you to be like, that's.
I thought you were getting to something like.
No, I was getting to the fact that we are always leading off with these teams.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So and a late bye. Right. So and no traveling abroad.
And no late divisional shit. Crazy. Last year.
No back-to-back divisional shit.
I know. Last year it was severely backloaded, and this year it's not. Like Dallas is our final game. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks in between Dallas, and all the rest of our stuff is done. Sorry. So, not 7 games, 7 actual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. Holy moly. Having Arizona come to town week 1 is beautiful. Yep. That is our that should be a good one for the good guys.
Well, because they're reeling as well, right? They're actually more on a descent than we are.
Well, I don't know, but we're just on an average climate. They were 4-13, and it was disgusting. Everyone got fired. So, but I will say this: 10 of the 17 weeks we play football against another NFL opponent, said team went to the playoffs, and 8 of those 10 teams won. Now I am counting the teams we play twice into that factor. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like Philly's playoff record was 2-1. Dallas was, I think, Dallas and the Giants are both 1-1. So I'm counting that. But I'm just saying, if you look at our schedule per week, the playoff record was 11-10. That's we got some teams on our schedule, but we all know I have championed this over the years. I don't put a ton of year to year. This league, there's going to be 3 teams that go one way and 3 go the other, and who knows what happens at the end of the season? Who knows what the hell we're going to do? But it's still fun to talk about. I don't mind.
Well, let me ask you this off the top of your head, and I'm putting up the 2023 schedule. I was going to try to get you guys to give me wins and losses on that 2022 schedule, but
8-1 is my final answer.
See, you're smart. You're too smart, man. You're way too smart.
You're gonna have to try and find another way to get past me there, sir. I'm always gonna know what last year's record was.
We're not predicting tonight, are we?
No.
I'm predicting what last year's record was, because that's what Ken said he was gonna ask.
I'm gonna put it right here.
So Rhett's here. You want me to get up?
I think just a slight lap.
Okay, you're good.
How about that lap bit we talked about last week?
I didn't know. I mean, I was blown away that you have never seen an episode of Cheers,
it's a problem.
WKRP,
it's a problem,
or the A-Team. How have you never? I mean,
sir, we're talking about almost a decade younger than us.
But I didn't know you were that young.
You're angry with yourself and myself for us being old.
I was blown away.
I know. It's because we're old. I'll hold you and tell you you're 2 weeks older than me, and I'm sorry for that.
You have a lot of binge watching to do, sir.
All right. So I was telling the guys on the board, I was trying to get you guys to give me predictions, but he's the smartest guy in the room.
He reads everything. I didn't. Read
No,
Once again-
I told him what last year's record was. He asked for a prediction of the 2022 season. I said 8-8-1.
No, you're fine, right? We're not even on camera right now.
Oh, now you're trying.
And once again,
now you're trying to dodge the camera.
Oh yeah,
You're
dude.
hogging it last week.
I'm changing. I'm changing shirt.
Oh,
I'm changing
God.
everything. We're getting crazier.
Is
All right,
something
so there we
squared out
go.
eventually.
Cleveland,
You're taking your shirt
Cincinnati.
off?
That is
You know
that
what?
is the correct one, Ken. Good job. You found the right one.
Well, here's the deal. We're playing the entire AFC, whatever, Central, East, whatever you want to call it, South.
Whatever. I mean,
Whatever you wanna call it.
Whatever you want to call
Whatever
it.
you want to
man.
call them.
It's your world.
It doesn't matter.
We're playing the whole Central East.
The Central East.
Let's
South
go-
Central East.
Let's get some.
South Central East.
Central East
We
North.
gonna hit the
Cincinnati,
skin-
Cleveland, and
We're gonna hit
Baltimore.
the skins or what?
It's happening. Listen, pull up East Side. It's an LBC. That's going to end. We're not going to talk about that. But once again, we're starting with an uninspiring Week 1 opponent.
Good.
Like Jacksonville, like Detroit, like Carolina, like these teams over the years that we've played in Week 1, where the NFL is like, this is we don't really need any more. We're getting Super Bowl rematches, we're getting playoff rematches, we're getting blah blah blah. Let's put the Commanders together with the Cardinals. I think Kyler Murray, by the way, I think they're going to play their way right into Caleb Williams, and they're going to thank the Lord. There's an out on Kyler Murray after year 1, after this year, I should say.
He actually
year 2.
should be in the discussion of one of the weirdest dudes
Sure.
in the NFL right now.
But he did sign a
He and
gigantic
Russell racing
contract.
to the end of that line right there.
Yeah.
Well, all I know is,
That'll get you to 4-13 real quick.
Real quick.
will they be ready in Week 1? They just got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. They're clearing house. They have 2 potentially top 5 picks.
We have no business.
They're in
losing
the
this
business of losing right now.
Yes.
If they win their opener on the road against us, we might as well just repeatedly kick each
That
other
would
in
be
the mid.
Yes.
that would be a kick in the groin.
It's a home game. I think this is going to be a more fun home opener because it'll be the post-Snyder era beginning. That'll be cool. If you are old enough, you can remember back to a day when the Cardinals were in our division. That's fun for a bunch of
That wouldn't be Rhett.
old, drunk
Rhett
guys.
has no idea what
No,
you're
no.
talking about.
Brett has no idea what we're talking about.
No, he has no
Neil
idea.
Lomax.
He has no idea how many times we rolled on for Jim Hart and Neil Lomax.
Stump Mitchell.
Stump Roy
Roy.
Jefferson. Then we stole him.
Yeah.
And then we gave him back.
So again, it's almost like a 4th week of preseason, and it's been the case like that for us for a while. A 4th week of preseason. No one can even see. No one can see that. You can just.
It smells like doo doo in here.
Yeah, no, that's
Smell
right.
doo-doo.
That's right.
Totally
Yeah,
right.
Taco
He's
Tuesday.
owning up to it.
Taco Tuesday. We go on the road. Let's talk about this from a road perspective. We're on the road right away in week 2. We're out west in Denver. No one cares about going to Philadelphia.
We get the 2 weirdest guys back to back.
Yeah, but Denver, I think, is loaded for bear this year.
Only if we were playing Jets in the 3rd week, we'd have pulled a trifecta on the weirdest quarterback.
I mean, we get the Jets on Christmas Eve. They're coming, or
It's
we're
gonna
going
be
there.
It's gonna be a dark. It's gonna be a Tim Burton Christmas Eve.
You know what though? We've had success. I
It
wouldn't
smells
say.
like buttholes in here. I can't handle it. I wish there was a frog in your throat. How did that clear up?
It better not.
It hasn't cleared
Well,
up.
you inhaled this
If it reaches over
nauseous.
here, Rhett, you're
And
out
now
of
there's
here.
need to-
now you're.
Okay,
now-
we're going back to.
You've never sounded better, Ken.
It's coming. It's starting to
Oh,
filter through.
God.
It's starting to filter throughout the space.
It's starting to get over here.
It's not. It's not the most ventilated studio
Rhett,
in the biz. And
Rhett,
plus,
what is wrong with
the
you,
writer's
dude?
strike, if you think about it
Why
from a
would
writer's
you
strike
do
standpoint,
this?
like, we have no chance. No chance. But Kevin has the least amount of chance of all of us. He's basically.
It's on my person.
he's
It's
basically
in my
being held down.
esophagus.
I've been sneezed on.
It's like Peter Griffin
I've been wiped on.
and Meg in the
and
car,
now I'm
and
being gassed.
Peter's holding the windows open.
They about to shit on T.
Oh.
I heard they shit on
Just take
T-Bird last night. What are you guys
Just
doing?
take it.
What's going
You're
on?
off screen.
Oh
Now you're
my
back on
God.
screen.
Of course I'm off screen. I thought maybe I couldn't smell
I'm
it.
in a full sweat. I broke out into a full sweat.
All right, we're gonna go back.
mean,
I just wanted everyone to
What's
understand.
wrong with your
We're
neighbors?
still okay. There's no.
I had some scheduled
some
fun
pump-
facts, but now my brain is scrambled eggs.
Speaking of doo-doo, we got to go up against the Bills.
Well, they're
Week
coming to
3.
town. The interesting thing about that is it's early in the season. If we're 2-0 or 1-1 at least, we'll get some Skins fans. But the Buffalo Bills fans have always traveled. They're going to come down here. There's going to be a lot of Bills fans at FedEx.
There'll be a lot of excitement at 2-0 going into that game.
If we're 2-0, for sure. And there will be a lot of Bills fans, and that's going to be unfortunate. We'll see if the new stadium solves stuff like that. But Bills fans travel. They will be here, and they're fun. I mean, they're actually amongst fan bases that I've been to many a game with in my own stadium.
Yeah,
they're like
I
the
got
least.
No problem with Bills fans.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not.
Good, fun-loving people who love to jump on tables.
Yeah, I think in fact that'd be a great game to go to. It'd be a fun one.
It absolutely would be. And
would you throw me off of a ladder onto a table?
Jesus, not unless
with his back.
The answer is no.
He shouldn't be throwing anybody with his back.
We should work on that.
Never mind.
That would go viral.
No.
Viral. There would be investigations federally and
throwing quadriplegics around on tables. There's no law.
Can you imagine the white hot light I'd be under?
There's no law,
sir. And why did you throw him? Well, I snuck up on him.
First of all,
I asked you
he wasn't looking.
What if I asked you to?
He's like 6'8", like 290.
Sir, my 6'5", 270-pound
Getting me
friend.
up on the ladder will be a tough thing to do.
I couldn't get half of you up there.
That would not be easy.
I'm just a little guy.
That's where the Bills fans come in.
I just sit on a high stool.
This is true.
That's where the Bills fans come in.
Here's what I'll do.
They've been training for this.
Like a skydiver, I will strap up to you, and we can like do it.
Like those G.I. Joe. Like
I'm not pushing. I will do it with you. I will go with you, but I'm not going to be the pusher. Ken's going to have to push us. How about if Red just lets one rip on top of the thing? Then we dive. We all dive.
You just run. You flee.
It's like a banana split hurtling through the air.
Okay, Red, you got a job. Red's probably already asleep. He's been waiting to sleep in our basement since Game 7 ended.
Or he just doesn't want to sniff that fart. When it's your own fart, that means you went to Continental. I was told that at a young age.
Continental? On Taco Tuesday?
If you can't handle your own business, that's because you ate at Continental.
Okay.
And then ate tacos for Taco Tuesday. Terrible combination.
I don't know. Matt Seal made some special blend of bacon wrapped weenie one night for us with wings.
Little Smokies.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
At what point did you think after eating those bacon wrapped wieners
with his burger blend,
right, that you were going to have
with brown sugar on it?
Oh yeah. I would have been better off eating out of
do eat
dumpster
50 of them
from a gastrointestinal standpoint. The food was delicious. Every bite was amazing. The next 24 hours, not so amazing for the people that I was next to and near in close quarters.
Fair.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What are you gonna do? AGH. What is AGH got? He's adding something in here. If anyone pushed T, they'd be under more investigation than Snyder.
Oh, I appreciate it. He's always got my back.
Well, he does. He does.
Yes. We got to. I think that we should definitely push T. We should push T. I just put him on there tonight.
Look at you. All right, I love it. All right, well,
you
let's
have
go
my
back.
Permission.
Let's go back. Let's get that back to 2023. You know what? I kind of also, if you just look at this, it just worked out so well for us. We just didn't capitalize.
Are you on 2022?
I know.
You have to stop doing this because my ADD about getting through 2023. It's already like we can't just go through each week for 5 minutes.
We're not. This is just a general. This is a leisurely stroll through the park of the 2023 schedule.
Well, it started with
the 2022 schedule
and getting a 9.1 degree beef stick thrown right underneath my moustache. All right, where are we at?
We're gonna skip Philadelphia on October 1st. Who cares?
We're beating Chicago on Thursday.
We're coming home for a night game against the Chicago Bears. Also, is that a Thursday night game?
It is.
We've had those before.
Against them before.
Last year. And I like it.
It was the most fortuitous game of the year. Carson Wentz broke his thumb.
Yes, I'm down. I think that is
a gutsy win. He played gutsy.
It was the worst football game I've ever witnessed as a fan in my life.
He was gutsy.
And I'm all about that was the first time I was like,
he put his body on the line and got us a W.
Because that's all he could do.
Yeah,
because
he did. We got everything we could at him that night.
It smells like Rhett's underpants.
Red has produced a Carson Wentz-esque situation down here. And he's hiding. He's in hiding.
And it was just like Carson. Rhett came in, big smile, great conversation, just like Jacksonville, flinging it everywhere, and then just a gigantic turd moving forward.
Yes, exactly, Greg.
So this is going to be the Rhett Gastrointestinal Bowl.
It was.
Yes,
Okay.
they've not been creative with the Redskins
So we
schedule, which is kind of what I'm
smashed
getting at.
Chicago.
Gastrointestinal bolt or bowel.
We can. We're not again. We're gonna do a W and L column. You missed it last year. We wrote it down. It's gonna sit on this table for the entire season, and it's not gonna be a blown out. We're not gonna wax.
But we don't even have our team yet.
Exactly. That's why I'm just looking at the schedule, and I'm just talking about initial thoughts that come to mind. Like, for example, October 5th against Chicago. Been there, done that, got the T-shirt. It's a good feeling. You feel good about that. I mean, Justin Fields could have a big game. Who knows? They have players, but it's just a good gut feeling when you play Chicago at home on Thursday night. We've done well in that scenario. On the road against Atlanta in mid-October. Now,
That's going to be against Heineke.
Closing out, like, basically the first. You're kind of going into really the middle guts of the season.
Heineke's homecoming.
Well, it's Desmond Ridder.
He'll definitely be playing by the 15th.
I disagree. I think Desmond Ridder's their guy. I like him. I think he's perfectly acceptable answer for them. I think he's athletic. I like his arm. Then they have Drake London. They got Kyle Pitts. They got Bijan Robinson. They're going to be like sneaky good in the NFC South this year. I think. I could be dead wrong, but we're going there in Atlanta. So basically, Griff is hosting us all. We're going to be staying in his basement, which is I'm given to understand is where we'll be, which is a great basement.
He told me not to comment on any basement scenarios.
It's fair.
Specifically to Ken Marangolo, who is welcome in any other portion of his house.
I'm more of a pool house guy anyway, so that's okay. We stay on the road in New York for our first trip to NYC. We're going to have 2 of them on the season. Again, I mean, oh my goodness, the microphone's probably caught that, dude.
No, that's poor form.
We're not even. I mean, that is unbelievable. You got to go to the corner for that.
I'm gonna die.
I feel bad for you.
I'm gonna choke out.
Wow. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, whoever they roll out a wide receiver, it's just. They're just a gutty, scrappy team like their coach, but are they good? Probably not. They're probably the same as us. Hold on, we just gotta give. I mean, it hasn't moved its way over here yet. Taco Tuesday is still happening over there. We need a fan. That's what we need. Basements don't have fans.
Red's banned.
Coming back home, 3rd NFC East game of the season against the Philadelphia Eagles. Initial thought there is we get Philadelphia out of the way twice before November hits. That's how I read it.
Ron Rivera 6-5 versus the Eagles lifetime as a head coach.
I love it,
not always here, but as a head coach lifetime. 8-11 versus Atlanta is disparaging, but 6-5 versus the Eagles?
Of course.
Slight golf clap.
How is he done against the Cowboys?
Slightly over 500.
Well, one of the craziest stats of all time. He has a winning record versus every NFC East team. Ron Rivera is 6-5 versus Philly, 5-4 versus Dallas, 5-4-1 versus the Giants.
That's a Joe
Gibbs
I said, recipe.
That includes his stint in Carolina and his 3 years in the district. So his overall record against the NFC East, 16-13-1.
That's great.
With a win. With a win against everyone.
I don't have any buttons to help you out. And I wish I did.
In fact, at the very end, I have just one question. There's only one team on this schedule.
Yep.
That Ron Rivera has yet to defeat. Ron Rivera's lifetime coaching record against this schedule next year, 63-61-2.
Okay. The one team he has not yet beaten as an NFL
Everyone look at that
coach.
schedule. Do not Google your Google machines, or else I wish the smell of Rhett's ass on you for one day.
Is it? Now, let me ask you this. So I think
Chargers.
It's an away game.
I'm not giving any hints or clues.
I'll answer who I think. I think it's Seattle.
Chargers.
Is it Seattle?
We're not playing the Chargers, so that's going to be
I meant the Rams. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Is it the Rams?
No.
I said the Seahawks.
Okay. Well, let's let everyone have a chance to give their answer. It's going to take too long for anyone to research all of this, but there is one team on this schedule, and I will tell you his record against them: 0-4. There's just one team now. Like I said, the NFC East. There's some good stuff.
It could be San Francisco.
Arizona 5-3. I'll give you that. That's it.
I'm going NFC West. I'm saying 49ers or Seahawks. I know that we lost to San Francisco last year, so it would have continued.
Ron Rivera's record against San Francisco lifetime?
Yeah.
4-3.
Oh!
Another winner.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
There's some stuff going on
So,
here. I'm not answering any more questions. I want to see what the board has to offer.
Okay.
Let's give them 2 minutes.
Greg Martin has rung in with a New England Patriots, who I also...
And once you get an answer in, and I will say this, Ron Rivera, 2-0 lifetime versus Bill Belichick. So it is not New England. There's some cool, and there's some also not so great.
Robert Cohen, where are you at? Let's put you up here, buddy. Look at this, guys. Robert Cohen. Rhett on the brink.
I'm sorry, but it's true. It's honestly, that's 2 strikes and you're out. You have to go outside next time.
Or at least help us with a Breaking Bad style, a ventilation system for the basement.
Burn a little bit of paper and put it out in the ashtray.
We do travel to New England in early November. Good time to go to New England, I think. I don't think we're afraid to play in the cold, but it ain't going to be the dead of winter.
The foliage is looking nice at that time.
It's going to be beautiful up there, too.
It probably is.
Beautiful.
You're right.
It's
October, November 5th. It might be on the way out.
The chata is going to be perfect.
It's going to stick to the ribs. Yeah.
We stay on the road and travel a long distance. This is kind of one of those ones where I'm like, do you go from New England straight to Seattle?
This is never good going that far.
Yeah, but
never that good.
I like to stay on the road. Now, I don't know. I don't think that's the way they do it. I think they come back the next day and then they travel. But I would love, I think this is when you stay on the road. I think this is when you say, you know what, boys, pack a bag. We're going to be gone.
That's not happening.
I know. They're all millionaire babies, but just stay on the road.
It's probably in the bargaining agreement.
Oh, God. I hope not. You're probably right. But you're probably right. God, that's, you know what? We had J Dubs says
practice
the fish,
at like high schools
Dolphins.
or something.
What's that?
Gonna practice at high schools or something.
Yeah.
Ron Rivera's record against the Miami Football Dolphins lifetime as a head coach.
I knew it.
2-0.
Oh, it ain't the Dolphins.
Eventually, if you guys pay attention long enough, you're going to figure out.
It's going to be the Jets. Or it's got to be
Ron Rivera's record against the New York Football Jets lifetime. 2-0. Ron Rivera has never lost a game to the AFC,
one team.
To the AFC East.
That leaves one team.
Except for now.
The team that we should have guessed. The team that we should have guessed initially.
There's one more.
It's Buffalo.
Ron Rivera's record against the Buffalo Bills is 2 losses and 1 win.
Yeah.
It's not Buffalo.
It's not Buffalo.
It is not Buffalo, sir.
For goodness sake.
It's 2-1.
We could go all day.
We could. I mean, we'd be the dumbest people alive if we could go all day.
Well, the problem is that
it's Denver,
including a Super Bowl, was the only clue I was not 0-4 versus the Denver Broncos, including as the head coach of the Washington Redskins. 3 in Carolina, including the Gary Kubiak.
This one's
Von Miller.
Yep.
Oh man.
Listen.
No, not this one's for John. This was Cam Newton. We were broadcasting live at the
for
Hogs.
Cam. We were.
Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning started at quarterback that day.
It wasn't. This one's for Peyton.
This one's for Vaughn, I think is what you meant to say, because he was the MVP of the Super Bowl. Gary Kubiak had to resign right afterwards.
Still in the league, making a shit ton of money for the Buffalo Bills, which is crazy to me. But good for him. I hope he keeps it. Listen, we stay on the road 2 weeks there in the first half of November, which I love. I actually like that. I mean, I hope they stay out there. Your T's probably right, but if they're non NFC East games, we're going to be coming off potentially a rough one against Philadelphia. I don't think anyone's going to put a ton of money on the line.
I do think if you spend more time out west for that West Coast game,
it helps you.
It certainly helps you.
Yeah, well, I mean, Seattle is I think
we got to go Seattle home. Wow. Yeah. There's no good answer.
No. But when you come back and you play the Giants in mid-November, now this to me is the part of the season where you got to start deciding who you are for a playoff push. You have to have enough W's through the first 10 weeks to give yourself a chance. And now you got to start proving it against divisional opponents because we got them back to back. We got New York at home on the 19th, and we're in Dallas on Thanksgiving. So this is back to back NFC East games. Now, I don't know, you can't just say win-win as a bettor, as a gambler, but if you're looking for a way to launch a playoff, bid, that's when it has to start. Because on Thanksgiving Thursday, the whole country will be watching our team play God knows whoever the Cowboys have put on the field at that point in time. Everyone's going to be picking Dallas. Let's just be honest. That's what's going to happen.
It's in North Texas.
It's in North Texas, and I'm not convinced at this point in time. Even though, I mean, if you look at the schedule, it's Washington playing, Arizona, Denver, Buffalo, Chicago, Atlanta, Seattle. These aren't marquee matchups, except especially even for the heavily favored teams. No one's going to be busting their butt to get our games in. We're going to hit the home stretch this season, and I still think people aren't going to know much about us because no one's going to care. And maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're wrong. But like right now, someone made the point. No one knows anything about Sam Howell. Everyone just assumes Sam Howell is going to be terrible or that we're morons for starting a quarterback because no one knows. But we feel like we know enough about our guy. We're going to, we're not just giving the reins over to a John Beck kind of guy. So, I just think that people have been tuning us out for quite some time, and I don't disagree with that. Why? Because what have we done to prove them wrong? But I think we get to the part of the schedule and the playoff push, and that's when the Ron Rivera, Jack Dorsey, that's when everyone's jobs are if we're still in this season, jobs are on the line.
That's why we got Bieniemy.
Yes.
Because someone needs to move the ball. We're going to have the ability to defend the run. I'm just going to tell you, we have a lot of great numbers, and we got a lot of terrible teams that we're playing against in this but our run defense, it's in there. It's somewhere around here, Ken. I think that's where it is. We have 7 games.
I think Rhett just disturbed
which is top 10
your organization
scoring teams.
7 games versus top 10 scoring teams. 10 games versus top 10 rushing offenses.
Yeah.
But we stopped the run.
That's
why
strength.
We've invested. We have a schedule against 10 teams in the top 10. Now, that being said, the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Eagles, I think one of them was outside of it. But, that's where you get the 10 out of 10. It's not all 10. We're playing against some dudes that can run the ball. And that's part of the schedule-making scenario. It's part of the reason why we're designed the way we are.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You want to run the ball against the best run defense? We're third in the league in yards allowed. We're going to find out who's going to break.
I love it. I love that sound, by the way. That sounds great.
A lot better than what
the end of the schedule is looking pretty brutal.
Oh, yes, it is.
Now,
she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes.
You get out of you finish Thanksgiving off with Dallas, and and I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, I like to obviously watch us win on national TV. What's that?
Finish it off with some pecan pie too.
Finishing off with some pecan,
maybe some
pie,
pumpkin.
I'll take them both. In fact, I often do.
Both.
I often do.
Me too.
But out of those 2 back-to-back NFC East games, we only have one NFC East game left on the schedule, which that's my interesting thought about that home stretch, because that hasn't been the case for quite some time. Kevin, you mentioned it. But we, Miami, LA, New York, San Fran, these are 2 NFC games, 2 AFC games.
To a place I want to go somewhere.
Having Miami here is
They're
great.
all good.
If Tua's doing his thing, if he's still alive and coherent
and not retired,
then you got Justin Herbert. At least we're on the road for that, and then you stay on the road.
No, Justin Herbert. Will you stop saying this?
Sorry,
what is wrong with you?
It looks like the LA Chargers. It looks like the LA Chargers.
It's the LA Rams.
The LA Rams.
It looks like the old LA Chargers. Chargers.
Dan Fouts and Kellen Winslow are not walking in that door.
That's my play call. That's the play caller in me.
Off too.
I was reading the number that I saw, and my eyes were wrong.
I'm not mad at you guys. I'm just trying to make sure that we, quality control.
Rhett wouldn't know what the LA Chargers.
35-year-old Matthew Stafford. Still playing. It's Sean McVay, who's been contemplating. Sean McVay is like the equivalent almost in his young age of like a LeBron James, where every year now he's being like, I'm going to reassess whether I'm going to.
I thought he was
coaching.
About to retire last year.
This has been twice in a row when there's been rumors that he's been ready to retire.
This is what happens when you start coaching at 16 years old in the National Football League.
Yes, and you marry a 10,000 out of 10 model wife and live in
who likes to
California.
do what are they called? Filters. All over.
She's a filter.
Filters all over.
She's a filter.
She's a filterer.
Well, if you're
it's going to take a lot to make you do bunny ears and
I know, but
cute little kitten face.
Football is keeping him away from his
true passion.
His true passion, which is his brand new supermodel wife.
And then there's Aaron Rodgers, who keeps trading in.
Christmas Eve on the road against Aaron Rodgers. I'm kind of loving the fact that we're on the road for this game for a variety of reasons. Now, they're calling it at 1 p.m. I don't know what point in time in which it doesn't even matter what they say because they'll change it. But I think someone said that the likelihood of us being flexed on Christmas Eve is super low because of the system that they put in place. Like you can only flex a person. It's got to be done like 28 days in advance. Some crazy methodology. Greg, write it on the board. There's some way where we know right now that we won't be flexed on some of these weekends because of the way it works.
It's a methodology.
It's a methodology. I mean, they've made it so complex, but if you actually look at it, because of the how long they have to give you advance and because of who they can do, it's actually the flexible games for 1 week is like 2 games.
Is this because we're playing against Captain Caveman? Is this what they're doing? They're going to do weird, like...
They're going to do weird stuff. But anyways, we're already playing...
Do you guys want to watch this game while doing ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca?
Let's do it.
I don't want to do it.
Okay, so I know why they can't flex this game. They put it on their thing. The Jets play on Thursday. The next game is a Thursday game, so they can't be flexed. Like these are all these rules that if you like apply them all to our schedule, we almost have no flexible games. So December 24th, you can bank on it right now. We will not be flexed on that week, and
we will all be drinking at 1:00 on Christmas Eve. Apparently.
Christmas Eve mass is going to be a show for folks here in the Washington area.
We don't recommend the children's mass, not for this group.
Now, New Year's Eve. San Francisco tilt.
New Year's Eve start the drinking time on both of these times is 1? We are going to be getting after it early and often on back-to-back major holidays.
$10. Ken doesn't make it to midnight.
Which night? Well, for Christmas Eve, you have to go to bed early because Santa doesn't come until you're sleeping.
No, New Year's Eve, you're not making it.
But New Year's Eve, I'll be there.
No, you're not making it.
Yeah, first of all,
there'll be a nap in between them.
I know you want to draw on my head and put whipped cream on my hands, but come on. After we get our makeovers in, it's going to be over.
It's not fun the second time.
That's true. That's true. What do you got?
Nothing.
Makeovers?
Absolutely nothing.
Makeovers. And then TBD in week 18.
TBD.
They're not even going to tell us what time it is. Let me give you guys a heads up. We're probably going to be playing at 1 p.m. on TBD day against the Dallas Cowgirls for probably a spot that means more to us than them.
For the division.
Well, one would hope.
And the playoffs.
One would hope that the Giants can. We're going to need probably the Giants to do something against Philly that week. And I don't like depending on the New York Giants ever. I think it's a terrible situation to be in.
We've established your trust pattern.
Yeah,
it's fair. I don't trust anyone from New York.
No, I mean it's
Giants fans.
Giants fans. I to me, it's
I do like a few Jets,
and I'll even rank them. I'll go Giants fans, Cowboys fans, then Eagles fans individually. Yeah, because Cowboys fans are harmless.
That would be my ranking.
They're not even from Dallas. And New York fans, what do they got to root for? Eli, the guy they hated the most was their best guy who actually gave them 2 Super Bowls, and they hate him for it. It makes no sense. The win-loss segment is coming. We're going to do that. But I just wanted to have some feels. You know what I mean? Like just to kind of work through it. We didn't do it. We let everyone else do it for a month.
We just do it. You just got a smell test.
Gotta have a smell test.
Pretty much is what we did.
Oh, thanks, Rhett. We all appreciate you for making that happen this early in the season.
How about this?
The sniff test.
Rhett took that way too literally, by the way.
How about this for a 2023 sketch? Like that second game against the Baltimore Ravens. The only reason why I think it's interesting is because they have that stupid streak.
Hold on.
What
game?
The preseason game against the Baltimore Ravens. We're playing the South Central.
There's bullshit you're talking about preseason right now.
All I'm saying of all the
bullshit you're talking about the second preseason game.
Hold on, it's not bullshit. I'm just saying.
Oh, he knows where I stand on talking about preseason football. How are we doing it right now?
On this game?
Bullshit streak. That means completely zero of nothing amount anything, and I hate it.
He bet on it last year.
I did bet on it last year. That was a mistake.
I could honestly.
That makes
I'm about to kick
They're
you in your
undefeated,
Ravens.
right?
I understand.
Preseason second game games. What were you getting at again? Another.
I want to beat Baltimore in the preseason. How about that?
Oh, God.
No one gets to see your disappointment in your face.
God,
and we're not doing wins and losses because we're not doing wins and losses for regular season.
I'm horrified by that sentiment.
Okay, fair enough. That's okay. That is my sentiment. I sentimize. I'm sentimizing the sentiment.
I would have preferred Reds round 3.
Kirk Cousins or Ryan Seacrest. Ken Harris has to make the call on December 31st because Kirk Cousins is playing the night game. Minnesota.
If any NFL quarterback screams must-watch TV on New Year's Eve,
Kirk Cousins.
It's Kirk O'Bangs right there.
I mean, I hope they're actually playing for something. He's in a contract year, by the way. Again, how many contract years has that guy had? And how many times has he crushed it? Not necessarily on the field, but in the negotiating.
On the tithe?
On the
tithe. His yearly tithe the last decade.
At the negotiating table. He just
dominates.
He dominates. Yeah, and he's got everybody by the balls, apparently. Because he just constantly gets guaranteed contracts all the time.
To be an average person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his stats are pretty damn good.
He's played for a long time and he's been healthy.
Which is amazing.
He's throwing the ball away.
You can't argue the numbers.
The numbers are the same they were here, except for this
until
past
you get to
year
the
and a half.
win-loss, especially in the playoffs.
Barely.
Hasn't really happened.
No.
Because he's one of those guys
he's the least entertaining quarterback to watch in the NFL.
I mean, he does his job, but I don't think he does his job better than it should be.
So many guys I'd much rather watch on New Year's Eve after a couple in me.
Exactly.
Play the greatest position ever. And he's fine. He is, but vanilla ice cream is my favorite, so I would never. He's like the orange sherbet.
Orange sherbet is a great flavor, though. I like it.
Sherbet can't touch ice cream.
It's not ice cream.
It's just sherbet. Sherbet's on ice cream.
Sherbet has too much flair for
it's on ice cream. I think that
vanilla pudding, is that what he is?
And yet, in the same division where they consistently didn't give Aaron Rodgers wide receivers,
there's no nuts or
Minnesota Vikings
or nothing. Just
have given Kirk Cousins Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and they basically said, "Here you go," and that's unbelievable.
It really is.
That's unbelievable. The baddest wide receiver in the entire league, and probably one of the most natural wide receivers to come out of college in quite some time. And Kirk Cousins has both of them, and they got rid of Adam Thielen. It doesn't even matter.
And I'm sure their Friday night dinners are going to be amazing.
Oh,
at Kirk's house.
Oh yeah. I mean,
they're talking about getting rid of Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
The devaluing of the running backs late in the contract scenario for a team that can't afford it. It's how they do it.
Ken Harris says the 49ers Commanders game could possibly be flexed on New Year's Eve, but if they can't move the Bengals Chiefs game and the Steelers Seattle or Dolphins Ravens games, there's other games that are like on the books right now that would probably be. But if the Commanders are marching and the 49ers are marching, that's a great matchup to have on New Year's Eve.
Sounds like we're all going to be fucking marching.
We're marching. It's a New Year's Eve march.
Move.
Hey, Ken.
Move.
Yep.
I can't march.
Move. Right.
That's not true.
I can't march either.
That's not true.
So,
no, that kind of attitude.
You ruined it, Ken.
You
ruined the whole schedule conversation.
No, that kind of attitude you can't march.
I thought we were supposed to do a right before we leave a discussion about
future drafts. Yeah, we are. We
Good, because I couldn't come up with much, but I can't wait to hear what everyone else on the board has.
So here's what we're gonna do. Board. We're gonna come up with
Help us out.
drafts. I got my my pen here. Draft topics for the next month. I want suggestions from the crew. We got a couple. I got a couple ideas. We're gonna shift away from the music for the next 4.
Please don't stop the music.
I want to get back to the music, but I want to take a break from it because we're going to make we're going to have some improvements on the musical end here. I don't want to
Fair enough.
do the
Fair
musical
enough.
stuff until
Fair
we do
enough.
that. So that said, draft topics. Get the heart pumping. We've done some TV stuff. We did sitcom dads, or we've done TV moms. One idea
Yeah, you have,
was Red's done a few TV dads.
I'm just gonna tell you, Marge Simpson had a rough last Tuesday.
Well, you talk about anything. I mean, basically, you're looking right there at the MVP of.
Ken Harris said she's our unofficial team mom, and I don't disagree.
That would be a great team mom.
Greatest team mom of all time.
You're damn right.
Greatest team mom ever.
She gets
orange
down.
Slices.
She understands
treats.
Orange
but they wouldn't just be orange slices.
Oh, blood orange slices from
and they'd be all
from the Maldives.
And
Perfectly.
Sports Illustrated.
Nice and pretty.
All right, so the first suggestion is best single episode of any TV show of all time. Now, I'm going to write it down. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know if that's going to rise.
That's a deep dive research.
It's a deep one. Best single episode. We got a lot of TV people on the board.
That might be a sub show.
Okay, I'm just gonna write it
Well,
down.
I mean, of course,
someone
because
suggested it. Ken Harris, what do you got?
if you got that in your arsenal, that's a great conversation. I don't know if I got that in my arsenal.
I want
to. I've got actually a bunch in the even recent ones.
Okay,
sure,
don't,
that would work.
Don't burn them out now. We're living in the TV and movie space. The food space, I feel like we haven't fully.
Well, I've hit you with this one for years.
Yeah,
and
I'm ready.
We're due for a food.
We're doing for a food one.
It has to have a drive-through, not fast casual. Best fast food items. That's it.
Best or is like the
now
order?
that can be refined.
So it can't be in order. It can't be. It has to be like individual items.
Individual items, but at the end of the draft, we're going to see whose meal. That's part of it.
So like McDonald's
has to have
fries
a drive-through.
Is its own item.
And then Wendy's fries.
Own item.
Yep.
Burger King own item.
Mm-hmm.
Each sandwich. I don't want to just say sandwiches. Mm-hmm. I don't want to argue about whether the fast food item.
Almost like putting together your best meal of.
At the end, we will put the meals together, but we shouldn't put them together based on the picks. The picks should be best available.
Yes, yes, of course.
Best available.
Individual items.
No, I'm not saying that has to happen, but we've tried to do something along these lines.
Yep. We've tried to do it like during a girls lacrosse championship.
Yes,
we
did.
Danny. AGH, bring the sports for sure. The A team is suggesting best Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I'm gonna write it down, but I also think that could be molded. Action hero, action.
Arnold's kind of a
I have best fictional characters written down that also needs to be whittled into something. So those are my only 2 ideas. So you can
fictional characters.
Yeah, I had best fictional characters.
Okay.
Now, of course, that can be.
I love it.
That's kind of a. It could be a broad.
You have to let someone named Ken nerd the F out.
Go
on that. Okay.
Have at it.
That's going to be.
That's all I got. Everything else in mind is.
We did best TV dads.
Best sitcom dads.
We did sitcom dads.
TV moms. We did both of those.
Is there? So Ken Harris was the one who suggested TV moms for Mother's Day week. For Father's Day week, what's the dad tie into Father's Day week? Because we have done the sitcom dads,
movie dads.
We could do movie dads. Is there? I mean, I don't know.
Favorite character on My Two Dads?
I mean, It was the George Michael looking one.
He was.
The Kenny Loggins. He looked like Kenny Loggins. Paul Reiser was the other one.
I know, it was crazy.
But the other one was more like Kenny Loggins. I don't want to like
George Michael to me. when he had the flow and the beard.
Yes.
He was definitely he was saying you gotta have faith. So
and who was the chick? It was Stacy Keenan, something like that. The
I was not
daughter.
a watcher of this show.
My two dads? Are you kidding me?
it was just kind of it was on always. Right. It was Small Wonder, My Two Dads.
Yeah.
Alf. Same era.
Alf was a great movie.
Hey Willie.
Great show.
See, Robert Cohen, Single Dads. Best father-son. Oh, all right. Best father-son movie or TV combo. I like that. The father, because it's Father's Day. So father-son combo. You pick them both. You get the father and the son.
In the same
Okay.
movie.
See, now we're working together. Now Ken Harris's idea comes to life.
Now we're rolling.
No, this is why we do this.
Father-son combo. TV or movie? I got or song. I don't know. Cats in the Cradle. Don't get me. Don't. I don't want. I'm gonna.
Not
get,
even
I'm gonna
his
start,
best song
No,
about the
you're fine.
father son
genre. I know. You're right.
Are there enough father-son songs?
What's it called? I know he's gonna get it. So we're gonna get weepy.
You can't say it.
It's on. It's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Just take it easy.
Sorry.
Don't get me to a place.
Yeah. So does Yanu and Star-Lord? Yanu and Star-Lord technically would count for this. We're calling it right now. I'm just gonna do a Yanu Star-Lord. Note. Okay.
It's called Father and Son.
I know.
I mean, Jesus.
I set you up for that one, just like I set myself up for the 2022 draft. All right. I like the A team. It's going to be NBA season, best NBA championship teams, or best runner-up NBA teams for higher difficulty. Now, I like them both. I watch all of them, and
Who really wants to spend time on a runner-up?
but there's some damn good ones. I mean, if we would if we're going to do
that
it.
could be a bonus question.
Yeah, that could be a boner question for sure. How about, so we're not going to do Super Bowl. We're not going to do football. So we're going to do, do we want to do for greatest championship teams, non-football? I would say non-hockey. If you want to pick a hockey team, you can. Do we want to limit it just to basketball, or do you want to make it also other sports?
No, we haven't done baseball. It's baseball season.
And it is baseball season. So I think we should do best, and we'll limit it for the last 20-something years or something like that. Best championship squads. Make your
Best baseball nicknames.
Really?
Just best nicknames.
Just best nicknames would be great.
That'd be great. Nicknames, all kinds of nicknames. I love best nicknames. Maybe someone gets one for life.
Yeah, you never know.
The night of that, after that show.
All right, so we got some sports. We got some
I like it.
fictional stuff.
How
We got
about
some
this?
movies. We got some TV.
One thing to do with a little bit of the sacrament, a little nip of the whiskey. What's the best cocktail? I'm not going to get into every beer, but I think best cocktail might be or something along those lines. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, drinks.
Drinks.
All right, we got some drinks. Greg says the best stadiums that you've been to. I like that. You've been to probably the most stadiums of all of us, I'm guessing, but mostly college stadiums.
College stadiums.
Hell of a lot more than I have.
Yeah.
So that's
I've been to
you
stadiums
too.
for sure.
I've been to a few. I've been to a handful of
stadiums.
I traveled briefly.
I actually haven't been to that many professional.
Best summer cocktails. Ken Harris is refining it. Summer cocktail. That does kind of put you in the right
I
spot.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Best
That-
summer.
We could do summer cocktails in the summer. We could do winter cocktails.
Yeah.
Well, my winter cocktails are straight whiskey and the rest of my summer cocktails.
No,
and
no,
the melted ice at the end of the cup. At the end. Mostly.
I don't drink a ton of straight whiskey in the summertime. So
If you haven't yet hit that
just
thumbs
on
up.
Tuesdays.
probably most
Why not
likely
do it
going to
now?
have a Moscow
I mean, I'm just
Mule
saying.
in the winter.
It's
Not
just a click
so
away.
much in the summer.
Thumbs up.
Oh,
All right.
I'm an Irish. Well, let's just.
Yeah, we're Irish. We're Irish.
I'm talking about cocktails. I was describing them.
Sorry. You know what I would like to get into for the summer? I had
No.
it when we were in Charleston.
I don't want to know.
Frozen Irish coffee. cocktail.
I thought I was the only one that made that. at
The
my
frozen?
house.
Like blended?
Yes. We have to do. Yes.
Yeah. There's I'm tinkering. There was a place down in Charleston.
I had cocoa powder make it chocolate. It just makes the flavor better.
They have like this
You keep looking for
Vietnamese
it.
like random stuff in
I
there.
don't have that.
Okay. All right. We're gonna work on it.
I have
We're gonna work on
Hershey's
it.
cocoa powder.
All right. Either way, you know what? Guess
I
what?
even had
It's
a, I
going
even
to
had
be
a
amazing.
drink I was going to bring to the Memorial Day party
No ice
this
cream,
year
right?
Come on,
that you
man.
didn't have. Orange creamsicle.
I'm sure it's
Delicious drink. But maybe
sounds delicious.
maybe if you have us over at some other time this summer, I'll bring it.
I'm gonna go.
I hate when
Also,
people come over for my birthday.
we're gonna have a draft of favorite brands pre 13 years old. Pre 13 years old. So we're gonna take it back. Brands. Most of them are probably gone now. Some of them aren't, but most of them probably are.
So they have to be
So
older than Rhett.
pre-puberty brands. That's how we're
Pre-puberty
labeling it.
brands.
Pre-Rhett.
Pre-PB, and J.
Pre-pubes brands. Pre-pubes brands.
Hey, EO, can you work up a little music for that? Some pre-pubes brands music. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So you're like talking about like Hawaiian Punch.
The thing that came out really Freaky Freezies. Freaky Freezies. Classic example.
Bro,
Classic example.
best. They were the robot gloves. Were the
Yeah.
best.
Just throwing it out there. I saw something today. So
Don't say Ovaltine unless you got old.
Don't bring it. Don't
ovate
bring it.
testes.
frozen AGH has frozen Irish. They don't do frozen cocktails in Ireland. I understand, but I do understand.
You're missing out, dude.
You're missing out. But I also, if I go to Ireland, I promise you, I'm not ordering a frozen Irish coffee. I will appreciate it when I get kicked out.
These
of the
are
country.
house party cocktails, by the way. You don't order these from an actual bartender.
No. Unless you go
someone's
to
wife needs to theme the shit out of something so you can taste the delicious.
Home Team Barbecue. They have multiple locations in Charleston, and their drink, they are famous for it. It is a frozen Irish coffee. It is amazing. But all right, so is there if we're gonna get back to music, the
best songs of the last 5 years, I wrote down just to be humorous.
Okay.
Who the hell could possibly answer that?
5 years. It's gonna be hard.
See?
It's hard. It's hard. How many songs has Taylor Swift done at the end of the day?
Well,
EO Anderson checking
Olivia
in.
Rodrigo.
EO, we played your music at the top. We played it too loud. It was over top of all of our voices. But
Sounded good though.
we're going with Blackbush tonight. Here's to you. Thank you for the tunes. We're gonna cue it up and we're gonna get it right on a going forward basis, guys. We accomplished everything we set out to accomplish.
That's the show.
What do you got?
I got nothing. I had a great time. It was a great Tuesday.
Any final thoughts?
No. I'm going to save the rest of my thoughts for next.
They don't call him the best color man in the business for nothing.
Tune in next week. We got a lot more thoughts
Outside the lines, no chance.
He's Tim Strachan.
Looking forward to it, guys. Let's keep this summer rolling till the real football starts.
He's Kevin Ricca.
Thanks for always being here on Tuesday. It's a blast. Can't wait to do so. Hey, these drafts are fun as hell, man. I don't know about you guys, but we got everyone in the neighborhood coming in the bleachers of the 7th and 8th grade baseball team. They're like, what was it last week? I'm like, don't tell me anything. I'd like to have my own original answer. Thank you guys for making this happen.
I'm turning the music. I'm turning on some EO track in the background, and I'm putting it in super light. So what I'd love to hear from the people who are still on the board, who haven't yet given us a thumbs up, to let me know if they can, in fact, we
didn't get one
hear the
thumbs up?
music. No, we're doing great on thumbs up. You got a lot of thumbs all the way up. Just so you know.
Why does it always feel weird when you do that?
Just saying. It's not if you guys can hear EO's, the soft, dulcet tenor of EO Anderson playing us out. We'll be back next Tuesday night. Until then, and on behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Maringo, and this was Thank God It's Tuesday.